All right. Yo, yo. Sorry, guys. Something weird happened with my stream a second ago, but it should be good now. All right. So, very interesting setup here happening. We do have this 1 minute inverse right here that did close below. However, guys, I don't like the fact that we are trading in discount of this range of price. So I don't think this is 100% A plus. I'm probably not going to take this. Also, I will let you guys know. I'll wait for people to get on the stream, but there was a beautiful, yo, what's up, Kay? Good morning. So also there's a 5 minute bullish fair value gap here, so I don't like this. We're in discount of the range. I don't want to short this down to the data lows, even if this hits. But if we do hit this, I think we will have a nice setup to the upside, and we can target this high that we formed today, but also the data high that's above us. Yo, what's up, Robert? So guys, I actually, in one of my evals and one of my fundids, I am in longs right now, and I took them yesterday when this happened right here. So I'm super close to passing one of my Top Step X funded accounts, but I do need, so I have like a long from down here, so I do need these to hit before these lows hit, so we'll see what happens. But I'm super happy about that. Again, just in like one funded, but I thought that was really A plus. We closed above right here on this candle, so I entered here. Then I moved my stop to break even at this high, and the reason I liked it so much too is because I believe there was an SMT. We swept a low SMT with ES, and then a 15-minute bullish fair value gap too. So I really like that. So I'm up. How many points was that? A lot of points. It was. How many points was that? At one point this morning, I was up almost 200 points. Right now, I'm at 125, so still good. I also don't like this 1 minute setup. First of all, we don't know if it's going to close. Second of all, it's just we have the data low here and we've inversed the one, so I want to see more price action play out here. Very interesting. Kay said he's looking for the low first. I hope so, but it doesn't have to hit. We're trading in this 5 minute bullish fair value gap. I would really prefer for it, but yeah, it doesn't really have to happen. Especially, guys, I mean, look at the change in the state of delivery. Remember I called out in the Discord. I'll show you guys later, but told you guys I saw a change in the state of delivery and I want the data highs and the equal highs. So that is what we're going to be aiming for today. So obviously in evals, I'm just allowing this to continue. And if it hits, it hits. But these are going to be my target today. If we just get complete bullish PA, we're going to look for a setup up to here. But I don't like, that doesn't look great to me. I mean, technically, guys, this is a 1 minute setup, but this is not something I normally take. Also, we have another 1 minute right here. This is just not A plus to me. Even though this looks really good. What's up, guys? Top steps, us nuts? What does that mean? Top steps, top step is nuts. Yeah, what? What about it is nuts? So I'm not a huge fan again. Like, I mean, we are reacting bullishly from this 5 minute gap. You can see we like basically touched the bottom. We're getting reaction. But I don't like this little 1 minute fair value gap. Even though this may work, this is not A plus enough for me to take. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they deliver it lower first and then we go higher, but I just don't know. So this is not 100% A plus to me. It's too small of a fair value gap. We didn't sweep the data low. Even if it works, again, nothing I need to take. Anyways, I'm in this, so it doesn't even matter. From way lower. I'm basically betting, guys, that this week is going to be volatile, like volatilely bullish, if that's even a word. Like it's just, I think today, this week, I think we're gonna have some big upside moves. I think we're gonna go all the way up here. I think we're gonna fill this new week opening gap, and it's possible that it even happens today. So we'll see. But if you guys are in this, great. But I just don't think this is A plus enough for me to take. Even though we did close above both of these, the retracements we could get before, just not fantastic. But I'm up $1,200 on an eval, and I'm up $700 on a funded. So I wouldn't be surprised, guys, if this is going to hit this high now and the data highs. But again, I just can't take this. And I'm in it already, so it's not that big of a concern to me. But I would have preferred to have seen a sweep of this low first. But because we're super bullish, I mean, yeah, it can happen, but I don't know. Just not A plus enough for me. I'm going to be patient this week too. Yeah, that's the best way. Let's look at the rest of the market real quick. Intel up 5%. Ooh, let's go Enphase. Let's go. Okay, AMD up 4% too. Very nice. All right, so there's the data highs. And again, guys, I think this is going to go higher, but we'll see if we can get a setup up to here. Sucks that it didn't do exactly what we wanted it to, but that's fine. NEE. Let's see here. Tristan, okay, can you tell me if this is an SMT? NQ made equal lows at 8:30 data low where ES broke the low? I didn't even look at ES, guys. Sorry, I was so focused. Technically, this is an SMT, yes. And again, I told you guys, I think this goes much higher. I think we're going to end up going, who knows, but higher than this for sure. But yes, this is technically an SMT. There's no SMT with the data highs or with the data lows because they both made higher lows, but I think these equal highs are coming today, and we're going to pray that we get a setup to them. Right now, this is not a breaker, right? This is technically an order block. It's not a breaker block like we had last week because we didn't sweep this low, but it's technically an order block. So I'm looking for potentially a retracement down. Okay, let me delete these notifications, sorry, because for the Discord, guys, I'm going to be adding something that just hit. I will let you guys know a little bit later today, but it's going to be for a very tight swing trade. Okay, so guys, I'm basically just focusing here and looking for a setup up to here. I don't know if we're going to get it. And this was technically a setup, but this was not A plus enough for me to take. So I think we're just going to keep going higher and higher and higher. And I think that these equal highs are going to hit. And if you're looking at where they are in the 15-minute chart or wherever, it's in this leg of price, this internal high right here. It's yeah, I mean I've made way more money than I need to today. So I'm literally just chilling and waiting for the market to move higher. I think I have one runner left on my NQ contract, on my MNQs, and I think that one runner, if it does what it needs to do, I think I'll be able to make $1,000 with one micro NQ contract if it makes the full run today that it needs to, which is crazy. I'm debating whether to take it off at this equal high or if take it off at this equal high. But do you guys see this A plus setup? It occurred this morning. Well, this is in the Asia session, but I like set my alarm as soon as this went off here, and I woke up in the middle of the night and entered this. But there's a 15-minute bullish fair value gap right here, and then a 5-minute inverse. So that was A plus. I took a partial here, and then I took a partial at the data highs. And then, yeah, secondary and third partials are going to be here and here. So we will see. And if there's something else I see, guys, I'll let you know. But I don't know if we're going to get a setup here that I would take if I hadn't entered previously. Right? This looked really nice. I mean, the candle looked really nice, but I didn't like how the inversion was so small. But yeah, it is nice that we got a bullish reaction out of the 5-minute. You could have taken this, but again, it was higher risk. I feel like midnight to 2 a.m. is always consolidation, then 2 to 3 is manipulation. Not always, Tristan, but what I was figuring here is that because of, like, they left these highs from yesterday, from Friday, they weren't going to give people any good entries. So I figured they would do this in London, Asia. And I actually even called that on Friday. But yeah, it sucks that no one got an A plus entry. But I am super happy with my entry, and I just want you guys, I wanted to show you guys so that you learn for the future. But you can see, I'll just pull up the eval so you can see it, but I have an entry from here that's left, and I'm probably going to sell at these highs, but we'll decide. So. But I will show you guys real quick because I'm not seeing an entry just yet. If you look at the economic calendar, I told you guys last night. Right here, when this low got swept and we got this change in the state of delivery. If you guys see what I said right here, we finally have seen what seems to be a CISD, change in the state of delivery on the 50-minute time frame, and I'm expecting a bullish week, looking for liquidity sweeps and trades into high time frame bullish fair value gaps to go long. You can see we traded into the 15-minute fair value gap, and that's where we ended up going long. I literally pointed it out. Okay, I literally pointed out a drop down into the 15, and look what happened. 15-minute fair value gap, literally perfect into the 15, and then a bullish reaction. So hopefully you guys saw that in the Discord. But it's actually mind-blowing how these things work. So this is another change in the state of delivery, right? Very bullish candle over the data highs. Like there's very little lack of displacement here. You do have to watch for this bearish fair value gap on the hourly chart. But I don't think this is going to stall. I think we might get a slight stall here, and then we're going to blast through all of this. So for those of you guys who are in the Discord, please type 1 if you saw my economic calendar post and you saw where I told you guys about the change in the state of delivery. Because I got 0 reactions to it. Nobody emoji'd it. Okay, saw it. Okay, that's good. Okay, so Okay, this is where I would suggest, and I don't know if you guys have top steps, but maybe, just maybe look for a 30-second inverse to go up. It's going to be higher risk, but like if this ends up inversing, I mean, it's definitely higher risk, okay, don't get me wrong. But there is a possibility this will work. So if you guys want to do this with micros, you can. But we'll see. I mean, there is still a chance, guys. There's still a chance that we get an inverse to the downside, sweep the data low, and then go up again today. It's possible. I doubt it, but it's possible. What I really think is going to happen here, if this closes above, guys, you can try this. But definitely higher risk. Again, like I don't have to worry about this right now because I'm already in from way lower. But if you guys want to try this, you can to the equal highs. So I'm starting this week off super green. Tristan, I'm already done trading for the day. What did you take in the end, Tristan? It's always music to my ears when people say that, but passed another 150K with Top Step during London. That's awesome, bro. Did you take that same 5-minute inverse that I took? Technically that was yeah, that was London, I think. I'll have to check, but yeah. Let me put my indicators back on here. Macro time starts in a few minutes too, by the way. I don't think that this is going to end up being a reversal. I think this is just going to continue up. Just letting you guys know. But we'll have to see. Just looking at some stuff here. So I might take this on a paper just so you guys can see it to target the equal highs. But again, very high risk, so don't like that inverse. But this is the type of day where if it's going to work, it's probably going to be that. Again, like their objective is not to give people entries, right? Yeah, I mean technically this is the IFAG model, but again, if I was not in this already, this would be something I'd take with like less like a sixth or of a position. Like I wouldn't take this with big size personally. It's too small. But on a day like today, this is just like a screen time thing. On a day like today, this is the type of fair value gap where it will probably work. Again, does that mean that I take it full size because it will probably work? No. Just looking at some previous buy days quick just to see if there's something I see. Okay. So, I mean, there isn't even any inverses. Oh, there was a 2-minute here, but I would never take that. Not with equal highs above and how bullish we are on the day. But let's see if we can find something A plus to the upside. Maybe there'll be something that forms here in this leg right here. There's 2 fair value gaps here, so we'll see what we get. No close above this, no close below this inverse. But again, guys, I mean, with this bullish reaction, I'm really not looking for a downside here. But there is a possibility that this ends up closing back below and we go here, but there's not really an entry here. Because even on the 3-minute look, we're trading into these, so you don't know if we're going to bounce out of these. On the 5-minute, I mean, if you try and take this, you can. We did get an internal liquidity sweep too, so it's possible that this works, but not my cup of tea. Because immediately your stop to break even needs to be right here. And so even now, like, you can't even enter this now, right? Because this could be just a bullish fair value gap that we trade into to go higher. So not a huge fan of what I'm seeing here. But we could go down to the data low here and then get a full-blown reversal later. It's possible. If that happens, guys, if we end up getting a full-blown reversal to the data lows and then something here, I will definitely take this. But right now we're getting a bullish reaction from the 5 and this 1-minute inverse. If this ends up inversing, I think this is good enough to take if both of these inverse at the same time. And then your target is going to be the equal highs, and you could leave runners to the secondary equal highs. 5-minute candles are almost 100 points. Yeah, bro, I just told you guys. If I hold my 1 micro NQ on an eval and my 1 micro on a funded, on the eval I'll make almost 1,200 total, almost $1,000. No, sorry, $1,000 on 1 micro contract. On a micro NQ, that's just wild to me. Oh, whoa, okay. I took that 1-minute short with 30 MNQ thinking it was a paper account, and I'm out. Got $900 in profit. Wow. That is scary, Kay. Good job, though. That's wild. That is crazy. I've done that before. On a cash account. But that's good, Kay. Good job. So, traded into a bullish fair value gap, and we're about to inverse these two. I think this is a decent fair value gap. I'll give this a 7 out of 10 if we close above. We're in a macro time. We have data high, equal highs above. So if this ends up closing above, guys, I think this is a good long. I would prefer to see the 2-minute close above, but you don't have to. Let's see. This closes at 54. Okay, it was lucky as hell. I am shaking, done for the week. It's okay, Kay. Don't worry. It's an eval too, right? So you don't have to be too nervous about it. But just be careful, guys. Always watch what accounts you're trading on. Okay, so no close above yet. And also, technically you want to see the 2 close above here. So if the 1 and the 2 both close above this fair value gap, this is my long right here. I agree, Tristan. I wouldn't say it's lame, but the benefits you get for Top Step X are just so much better. Like the copy trading and max amount of trades. Can only trade the same amount of micros as minis. I don't know what that means. Like, what does that mean? Like if you trade 1 micro, you can only trade 1 mini? Oh, for the scaling plan. Yeah, I don't know. The scaling thing is, I don't know what that's all about, but I don't like it. Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised, guys, if we get one more sweep of this low, but this looks good to me. Let me look at ES real quick. Yeah, I mean they both look really good. This is a good 1 minute long in my opinion. So the 2 minute unfortunately did not close above, which kind of sucks. But if the 1 minute closes above, guys, I would probably take this half size. But we'll see if it even does, right? Okay, so there's the 1 minute close above. We'll take this on paper just so you can see it. TP would be here. Stop loss would be a close back below this. But again, I'm in this for much lower. I would be in this for half size right now. And my stop to break even would likely be right here. Definitely riskier. First of all, the 2 minute hasn't closed above yet. Second of all, we haven't swept the data lows. But because of how bullish today is, I don't think that's needed. But yeah, this is definitely not A plus just yet. So when you get a funded account, you can trade a max of 3 minis and 3 micros to start out at 150K. Okay, so technically, guys, this will be a 1 minute close back below this to stop out, right? So we'll see what happens here. Well, allowed to trade into here, but I'm guessing this low is going to hit now because of this negative reaction, but we'll see. Again, the close is a 1 minute close below the inverse. That's how you stop out of this trade. But let's see if this ends up holding. If this high gets swept or this high, I'm moving my stop to break even. Because of how terrible my entry was, I won't do it on this high. I'll do it here. Yeah, that's pretty dumb, Tristan. Again, I've told you guys this many times, but prop firms, their objective is not so you make money. Their objective is so that you lose money and they make money. And they'll pretend like they're there for you, but in reality, they're there to make sure that they make it as addictive as possible and as easy to purchase eval accounts as possible, so that you end up spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars every single time you blow an account. That's the objective. And so if they can put you at a disadvantage by having you trade with, you know, whatever Tristan's saying, not allowing you to trade with what you want to be able to scale in and out, they'll do it. But of all the ones I've seen, as far as like allowing you to protect capital and manage risk, TopStep X has the best features. It allows you to take a max amount of trades per day, risk a certain amount, and then it locks you out of the account, which I really like. So hopefully they keep it that way. I'm telling you guys, if you just promise yourself at the beginning of the day that you are going to take 2 trades and you lock yourself out immediately, like after 2 trades, you can have the settings lock you out right away. That's the best way to manage your risk. Because even if you don't hold your promise, the computer will hold you to that promise. Did the 2 minute close above yet? No close above on the 2. Oh, actually the 2 did close above. So guys, technically this is a valid trade. And if you want to hold on the 2, then you'd have to wait for a 2 minute close below to stop out. Which I think is good. I would wait for the 2 here if I'm in on the 1. What does a 3 minute look like? There's no 3 minute. Ooh, there's a tiny little 3 right here. But we'll see how this plays out. Technically, this is a really good setup. In my view, this is like a 7 or an 8 out of 10. But yeah, Tristan, you're right. At least they give us all the tools. So the 1 minute entry you can see here was obviously worse. The 1 minute entry was right here, and I got filled on this candle, which kind of sucks. The 2-minute entry was better. So I would have been in from much lower, but I still think that this will end up taking us here. We'll see though. Once this high gets swept, guys, if you're in this and you had a bad fill, I mean, you can move your stop to break even if this high hits. But for sure, if this high hits, I would move your stop to break even. Yo, what's up, Robert? Good morning. So I told most people that are on this stream already, but I am in on my real accounts from much lower and on evals. So what you're seeing right now is just paper. I don't need to be in this. I'm basically targeting these equal highs above us. That's going to be where all my runners are taken off. And then I'm going to leave one runner like to up here if I have any left on that specific account. And yeah, so I said to you guys, if I was in this, I would take this half size. But we're in a macro time. We got a 2-minute inverse. We got a 1 minute, which is what I entered on. And the stop for this trade would be a 2-minute close back below the fair value gap. But because I know how these market makers kind of manipulate these markets, I think if we close below this, I won't stop out right away. I'll wait for one wick below the low that's formed, and I'll just hold it because they could do the thing where they fake this out. Do you know anything about Apex? Just curious. Yes. I have Apex funded, I have my funded futures, and I'm working on Top Step. I'm almost close to passing my Top Step fundeds. My Top Step evals, I mean, Top Step X. And I'm thinking about just moving all of my fundeds all to Top Step X so I can copy trade, because I've never done that before. Ugh, don't like that at all. So we'll see how this 2-minute closes here, but this could just be like a wick out candle. They're trying to fake people out here, but we'll see. No, I don't have any fundeds on Top Step X yet. Ugh, this does not look good. Terrible. So this is a failed trade, guys, most likely. Unless we miraculously wick in the next 20 seconds. Okay, so basically what I'm praying for is that this ends up just being a low and then, yeah, so I got stopped out of this, guys. But what I'm guessing they're doing here is they're trying to stop out all the IFEG traders, sweep it, and then go higher. But what is their rule? I heard 30% from profit goal, 30% from profit withdrawal, 30. What is their 30% rule? I heard 30% from profit. 30% from profit withdrawal. I don't know what that means. Sorry, Robert, I'm a little confused. So, guys, that is a failed 2-minute IFEG. I've heard about 3 different 30% rules and got confused as to what they're... Well, I think what you're talking about is like a consistency rule, and I believe with Apex, I honestly don't remember, but I believe it's a 30%. One trading day cannot be more than 30% of the profits that you plan to take out, I think. So it's like if you want to make $2,500, one trading day can't be more than 30%. Like one trading day's profits cannot be more than 30% of it. I believe that's how it works. Yeah, like, okay, another example, like if you make $3,000 in profits, then like one trading day can't be more than 30% of that, which is what, $900? So I think what it means is that you can't make more than 30% in one trading day of the total you have to request a payout. Yeah, Robert, you can, but just remember, bro, it's very hard to manage risk if you're not a profitable trader yet. I would definitely suggest, even though there's some rules with prop firms, you will save yourself a lot of capital in the long run because you won't go on tilt and blow accounts, right? But so this looks really good too, guys, on the 2 minute, and I like this because we swept liquidity. So this is another option. I would be fine with doing this, and this is not the same leg of price now because we've swept liquidity, so I would be able to enter this. This would be my stop to break even on this trade, and I would hold it up to the equal highs. So I actually do like this. This would be the target. Ooh, there's a 5 minute inverse here too. So what they could do here, guys, is they could end up sweeping these lows, and then we get a setup. So we'll see what we get, but yep, I agree, Evan. That is definitely the biggest mistake I made as a newer trader, is going straight into a cash account. And I learned the hard way. I did lose quite a bit of money. I still ended up on the bright side after 2.5 years. But I definitely would have preferred opening funded accounts to prove to myself that I could trade profitably and not go on tilt, and then, only then, open cash accounts. But what I think is really unfair, and I mean, it's not unfair, but I wish that more cash account brokerages would allow you to set max amounts of trades. But the whole point is that they make money off of you with the more transactions that you make. So I get that they don't need to require it, but it would be ideal. Tesla down 2.5%, of course. Okay, guys, I would re-enter this. I think this looks really good. If you want to wait for the 3, you can. There's not really any 5 that formed here, right? We fully closed the fair value gap. So you could wait for the 3 if you're risk averse. But I think the 2 looks fine and the 1 looks good too. But we'll see what happens here. So there was officially a failed fair value gap today. This 2 minute and 1 minute, this should have worked. We closed above everything. The only thing is we had a tiny 3 minute that I didn't see here, and that rejected. So it is what it is, but that was, in my opinion, a great setup. Yes, Robert? Go ahead. The 3 minute closes in 1 minute, so we'll see if we get this. 2 minute closes at 10:10. But still, this looks pretty darn good, if you ask me. So no close above the 1 minute either yet. So my confirmation on this trade will be a close above the 1, the 2, and the 3. So big fail there. Well, I only enter on the 1, 3, and 5 primarily, so I'm often switching between those time frames. Sometimes the 2 if there's only one fair value gap there. But I'm always switching time frames because I want to have a good idea of where the market is. So like we are rejecting from this hourly, but I would not expect this to hold because we've been so bearish and we have a big change in the state of delivery. So I think that this is coming, all of these highs, and probably up here too. Like this is probably a target for me on the hourly. But nice, another bullish reaction after the rejection. So I would expect this to hold, honestly, but we'll see what happens here. But yeah, I would always be switching between the 1, 3, and 5, and then occasionally opening up like the 15 just to see if there's any fair value gaps below or above you, and then the hourly as well, just in case. Maybe the 30-minute. But I constantly am switching through time frames. But that's come over years of looking at the screens, right? I didn't just, immediately start switching time frames like this. It took a long time for me to be able to quickly look and see what am I seeing. So 1 minute is closing in 30 seconds. We'll see if it ends up holding. So you guys see how when I took this inverse, I said we're probably going to go to this low, but this looks good. Unfortunately, I just missed this tiny little 3-minute fair value gap right here. But it is what it is. Okay, 30 seconds left until this 3-minute closes. Hopefully it closes above. The 3 and the 2 are closing at the same time, so let's see if we get the close above. 20 seconds left. So this is another entry, guys. If you haven't entered on the first one, I think this is a better entry than the first one, just a heads up, but we'll see if we close above, right? All right, that's an entry. So stop to break even on this trade will be at that high, and then I would hold this all the way up. This looks really good to me. The 2 closed above, the 3 closed above, the 1 closed above. There's no reason this should fail. Yeah, so every time frame closed above the bearish fair value gap. So at minimum, I mean, we should hit this high for sure, and then we should hit this high. If you're super risk averse, I would take your stop to break even when this high hits, but I think both highs are going to hit, and I think we're going to go up here. So we'll see. But if this fails, I would probably be done for the day. Because there's no reason this should fail here. Crazy. Like, there is zero reason this should fail, in my opinion. Zero. And if I were you guys, I would hold this on the 3. Like, I would not close this out until the 3-minute closes below. But again, if you're risk averse, stop to break even at this high. In fact, I'm probably going to do that just to be safe. Okay, so if you guys are in this and you want to be risk averse, your stop to break even should be there. You could hold to this one if you want, just in case we come down one more time and stop it out, but I think like just because the first one failed, I would be a little bit more cautious here. And then your target would be the equal highs above. So that was a really good trade. And now it's a free trade. You get to let it ride and see what happens, right? Beautiful trade. I told you guys, there was no reason that this should fail because there are no bearish PD arrays that were holding down price. The 2-minute closed above right here. The 3-minute closed above right here with the body above the fair value gap. The 1-minute closed above right here. This was the 1-minute fair value gap closed above on this candle. No reason that should have failed. And they come up and they miss the high by 1 tick. And I think they're going to try and stop out traders now, but we'll see. Hopefully they don't. What do you mean? It didn't fail, Evan. No reason to fail yet. It will. This is not a failed trade. This is a successful trade. We have our stop at break even. A failed trade means we close back below before getting a break even stop. Yeah, so their objective is to make sure that people don't make money, right? So you know what we'll do? I'm going to keep my stop at the mean threshold of this fair value gap just in case they come down and they stop out the entry, which was right here. So let's see what happens here. Let's see if this ends up helping or hurting us. I mean, the general market doesn't care if it should fail or not. Well, I don't care about the general market. I care about how the algorithms run and if I get the model that I need. But this is the type of situation, like I said, guys, this setup should not fail. And it did not fail. But we'll see if it ends up coming down to this stop to break even and then going higher. So you can see it's wicking down here. Let's see if this ends up holding and then it goes higher. Let's see though. So that is a stop to break even trade, guys. I'm just moving my stop here to see if it ends up holding. So that wick here, I believe this is a stop out wick, but I could be wrong. Let me look at the 1 minute. So there's a little 1 minute fair value gap potentially forming here. Okay, so I believe this is a stop out wick, like I just said. I believe this candle's objective was to stop out everyone who longed this bullish fair value gap, the bullish inverse here. So if it wicked the high and closed below, would that be a liquidity grab? Which, this high right here? Yes, that's a liquidity. I don't call it a grab. It's called a liquidity sweep, but yeah. Terminology doesn't matter. So again, guys, I would be out of this trade. If this is a real account, I told you guys already, the stop to break even for me was that high. But because they left this high, I'm thinking this is a manipulation. They're going to bring it up now. And then if this closes above here, for sure I would move my stop to break even to go higher. But I, again, would be out of this trade on a real account. Just letting you know. Even though I think this is going to end up working to the upside. I think this is all a fake down move to stop everybody out, and then they'll go higher here. Do 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 do. Uh-oh. Another down move here. Again, guys, everybody understands, right, that I was out of this trade on a real account if I was in it. I'm in from much lower, so it doesn't matter to me, but I'm just letting you know. Uh-oh. Okay, so you see the fake down move and then this big pump. Let's see if this ends up holding. So if this high gets swept, guys, and you're still in this somehow, which I pray you're not, your stop to break even would be at this high. You don't wear my shoes. Robert, that is so confusing. What? The stop out candles here? Them manipulating price. Just let me make money. If only that was that easy, right, Robert? But this is what I'm saying. Like my theory, because I've seen this happen a lot recently, is they give you the inverse, then they give you like a stop to break even that's pretty decent, but not quite where you want it to be. They'll reject the market, try and stop everybody out who longed the fair value gap, and then they move the price higher. So that's what I think this down close candle was. And that I think now we're going here, but not before we stopped out a bunch of traders. So again, like my model on a real account, this was my exit. So it's tough work, but once this high gets hit, for sure, if you're still in this trade somehow, this is your stop to break even, no doubt. But I would not be in this anymore. Warriors, Robert is no Warriors for Shu is also named Robert, by the way. So no trades for me, guys. Make sure also you like the stream if you're in here. Helps other people see it. But yeah, that's the best way. Robert, be patient. But this is a rare day, guys, where I think we're just gonna keep going up. So this is the objective for today. Again, we've had a change in the state of delivery. You're basically looking for any excuse to go long, but of course, waiting for the best setup is optimal, obviously. Excuse me. Crazy. Another stop out wick. Let's see if that ends up holding to drive it higher here. Telling you, they're doing everything they can to stop out longs because today's a bullish day. And this is that objective, guys. I'm telling you, if you believe in buying and selling pressure, this is not buying and selling pressure. In my opinion, this is manipulation. Sorry, Robert. I should have muted it. Might be. Okay, so now we just wait patiently, right? There's no setup, but I think these are all manipulation moves. Technically, guys, the stop to break even on this trade was here. However, again, if you're risk averse, like I said, this is the stop. But these candles, I believe, are all manipulation candles to try and stop everybody out who longed this candle right here before they go higher. That's what my thesis is. Can you put a timer on the candles to see when it closes? Unfortunately not. I'm sure there's an indicator that provides that, but not one that I know of. But that's a good question, Evan. You can look that up on Google. Let's see if I type in candle timer. Let's see if something pops up. Candle countdown timer. Okay, so there actually is one right here. Can you change the ones you want? Oh, look at that. Minute 1, minute 3, minute 5, minute 15, hourly, 4 hour. So, wow, that's crazy. So the 3 minute has a minute 54 seconds. So that's the name of the indicator, guys. Candlestick timer. Candle timer, sorry. Candle countdown timer by Max Maserati. So you have it right there if you guys need that. What a hard day. Yeah. I know, I actually think this is pretty good price action, but they're just making it very difficult to get along here. Damn. Okay, so obviously, again, I was not in this trade on a real account. I told you guys already. This is where my stop to break even was. Unfortunately, this looks like it's going to fail. Unless they're really trying to stop out traders here. I don't know. Just leave it all behind. But if not, then this is probably going to end up coming down to sweep the data lows right here. And then maybe we get a setup later today. If this ends up getting swept, guys, I will look for a setup on a cash account most likely. Wow. Look at this wick. And a close below the 3 minute. So let's see what they do here. My suspicion is that this ends up being the low and that they take it higher. But again, guys, I would not be in this trade. I told you already. When this high got hit, I moved my stop to break even and I got stopped out. But I'm just leaving this on the chart just so we can see what happens. That's it. I'm not in this trade. I said that many times. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Ba-da-da-da-doo-doo. Crazy, crazy PA. But yeah, I mean, Jose, looking at this, like from here, this is definitely not the best for sure, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, this is wild. Like this nice 1 minute inverse, 2 minute, 3 minute, and they miss the stop to break even. Congrats, Jose. That's awesome, bro. Keep it up. Again, guys, my positions are from much lower. My eval and funded account trades came from the 5 minute inverse right here. So my entries are down here, and then on one of my evals, I have an entry right here. Okay, so we just got another liquidity sweep, it looks like. So we'll see if we get something here, but none of this looks great. But again, we have a bullish 5-minute here that so far is holding, but if this closes below, we're likely to go to the data lows and then get the inverse. And unfortunately, I don't know, Robert's using cumulative delta, but if we get an inverse down here, the delta will not be bullish by the time that the inverse occurs, most likely. So you'll end up missing out on the trade, but we'll see. So the 1 minute just closed below, but we have another 1 minute right here. So, very difficult. Robert, want to bet? No, why would I bet you that? That's stupid. I'm just saying it probably will not because cumulative delta is a lagging indicator like everything else. But I could be wrong. But I don't care. Again, I don't use cumulative delta. It's not part of my model. There only is one indicator in the market, guys, that is not a lagging indicator, and that is price action. Well, volume's not an indicator. Volume is just explaining what buying and selling pressure or what orders are entering into the market. It's not an indicator. It's not like telling you to buy or sell. Volume is just volume. Okay, so a bullish reaction out of this one. I mean, not really. Oh, whoops. Close below the 1 by a tick. Crazy. They're making this so difficult. Right now, guys, this 5 to me is like the thing that I'm liking now. The stop on this will be bigger, but so we see we closed below the 1 minute, closed above it. I don't really want to be part of this, but if we do end up getting the low here, a sweep, then we'll look for an upside trade. Robert, but I don't care to explain. That's okay, Robert. We don't need you to explain. If as long as it works for you, it works for you, my brother. I've said that many times. But yeah, you'll see. I mean, I know before when I've called an inverse, you said that the delta did not flip bullish yet, and you missed out on that trade. But again, it is what it is. Yeah. Now, listen, guys. Everybody has their own thing. I'm not here to convince you guys to trade one way, and you're not here to convince me to trade one way. I've been trading for many a years. I traded unprofitably for many a years, and I have a system that works for me. And why would I deviate from that system? And again, same with me. When I was new, I tried everything. I put a bunch of indicators on my chart and hoped that it worked. It does not work. I faded you that one time you thought we would reverse, we didn't. Which time? No, I'm not saying, Robert, that you're correct or incorrect. What I'm saying is I remember an instance where I called an IFVG that was a reversal, and you said that you weren't taking it because the cumulative delta did not flip bullish, and that ended up being the inverse on the day, the reversal on the day. Now, there could have been times where it worked where you faded me. I'm not saying it does or doesn't work. I'm just saying that I'm just pointing out what I remember you saying. That's it. So far, guys, on the day, there's been one failed trade and one stop to break even trade. This was a failed trade. This was a liquidity sweep and an inverse, and it did technically work to the first stop to break even, but not the second. Ba-da-doo-da-doo-doo. Okay, so I'm going to remove these for now because we don't need them anymore. And again, right now, objectively, this is the target. And then when we sweep this, we can look for an upside trade. So hopefully we get that. How's ES looking? Whoa. Whoa, ES is way stronger than NQ. That's super interesting. Think I'm starting a new line. Okay, there's another liquidity sweep. We swept the 930 low. Now we do have a data low, so this looks really good right here. If this holds, I think this is a great 1 minute long. So if we end up sweeping the data low and then we close up here, stop to break even would be at these highs or this one. I'd prefer this one, to be honest. And then I would go long. This looks really good to me. See how the 2 minute and the 3 minute look. I wonder how profitable you can be buying pre-approved fundeds. Oh, I don't like those. Why is ES thing good, Oaf? Well, ES and NQ, right? One tracks the Nasdaq, one tracks the S&P. ES tracks the S&P, NQ tracks the Nasdaq. And typically, when they're uncorrelated or when one makes a lower low and one makes a higher low, it ends up being a reversal. So Robert, I took one trade, goofy fool. How many trades you take last week? How many winners? How many losers? I don't understand. I took one trade, 100% win rate. That's great. Okay, so the 930 low got swept, and there is a 1 minute here, but there's too many in this leg for me to take. So right now, the 5 is the only thing that looks really good for me. And there is an SMT right now with ES, right? The 930 lows on ES are down here. So we are making a higher low on ES, and we're making a lower low on NQ. So if this 5 minute inverses, I think this is great to the upside. Ba-da-doo-da-doo-doo. I got a 300k eval too. When was the last time you blew an account? I haven't blown an account in probably 2 years. I mean, there's evals where I will full port or something if I think it's a great trade where I blow them. But like a funded account, I haven't blown a funded account in over 2 years. And I've never blown a cash account, but there's definitely been cash accounts where I've lost a lot of money. Oh, I'm talking to Evan. Took a small there oaf. Got to get back to bodybuilding. No, I'm kidding. Bro, I know. No, I've definitely been lacking on the weightlifting. I used to be a lot bigger than this. But I'm more focused on functional strength and flexibility. And hey, Charlie, good morning, brother. Okay, so we're trading into a bearish 5-minute fair value gap, which could turn into an IFEG here, but we're just waiting to see. Would I take this 1-minute inverse to the downside? No. We swept enough liquidity. I don't need to be taking anything here. But again, guys, I am in this from much lower, so I'm not really concerned with what happens here. My guess is that we get a bullish reaction from here, and we go up to these equal highs. This is my objective for today, and yeah. I mean, I don't think that the exercise itself helps your mentality for trading. I mean, it keeps you like your mind sharp, and it's good to like have a positive mindset. It helps with like depression and all kinds of things. It just like helps you have a positive mindset, which indirectly helps with trading, I think. But it's more so the discipline. Like if you can eat right and you can exercise almost every single day and have that discipline, it does, I think, translate to trading most of the time. Not for everybody, but a lot of the times. Yeah, unfortunately, trading is a different beast, guys. Like I've seen guys talk about how like, yeah, if you're restricted with your diet and you're strict in the gym, you're being strict with trading. Not necessarily. Everybody's mentality is different. I'm sure it helps, but it's really hit or miss. Like there are people that have discipline in some areas of life and zero discipline in others, but trading is a different game, guys. By far, I think the hardest career, one of the hardest careers you can be a part of if you solely rely on day trading for income. Yeah, CrossFitters are gnarly. But no, I don't do CrossFit, but I use a lot of kettlebells, shit like that. There was a pretty decent looking 30-second inverse on Top Step. Kind of small, but nonetheless it closed above, and your stop to break even was at this high, so you could just hold this if you would have taken that, but I did not. Nor would I take the 30-second. But I think this is going to end up closing above. But we'll see. My SPY position and my QQQ are already up 2.5% each. Those of you guys who are in the Discord under the long-term ads section, a lot of you guys are sleeping on the long-term plays, but I told you guys that S&P entered a correction and we touched the 300-day moving average, and I added to my position. We're already up 2.5%. Same thing with QQQ. I bought in. I notified you guys, so you guys shouldn't sleep on those. They're great, great callouts. But I know a lot of you are in there for just day trading. But I'm telling you, long-term positions, option selling, and swing trading make me personally a lot more money than day trading. I've said that many times on the stream, but we closed out the Tesla sold puts for 100%. We have Nike sold calls that are up 40% right now. We close those out on Friday most likely. Oh, if my trading view charts as the countdown on the candles. I think there's a setting here to do that. Trading, canvas, scales maybe. Countdown to bar close. Oh, yeah, there is one right here actually. My bad, guys. You can see it right there. I didn't even realize, but it is built into TradingView. So the 3 minute, it should change. Yeah, 2 minutes and 11 seconds. The 1 minute, 8 seconds. Yeah, so there is actually a countdown built in. You don't even need that indicator that I called out. Yeah, I just don't really pay attention to it, but I forget it's there. But I always use my clock. Oh, shoot, I keep forgetting to post the Discord, bro. I'm going to post a link if you guys want to join. Again, you don't have to, but I always forget to do it until the very end of the stream. If you guys want to get access to all my long-term plays, option selling, call-outs, etc., this week we're going to be live streaming in the Discord twice, probably maybe 3 times. We'll see. But it's good because there's no lag like YouTube. But if you guys want to join, there is a free 3-day trial. So you're welcome to if you want. So if this 5 minute closes above, guys, this will be the second trade of the day. Again, I'm in this from longer, so I'm not going to be taking this personally on any accounts. If this data low got swept, I would consider it for sure. But right now there is an SMT. If you look at ES, the 930 low is down here. So right now, let me physically draw this so you guys can see it. See how this is making a higher low, and NQ made a lower low. See how this is pointing downwards, this is pointing upwards, that's called an SMT. So if this 5 minute inverses to the upside, that in my opinion is a great trade. You can move your stop to break even here. And then hold to this high as a partial, and then I would hold to the equal highs or the hourly fair value gap high too. Ba-da-doo-doo-doo. Oh, if you have to buy real-time data on TradingView, yeah, I don't know if you have a prop firm, I think they might provide it for you. But if you have a cash account on TradingView, yes, I pay for real-time data. You guys can see this green line here, this green circle. I believe that means that you have real-time. If it's not green, it means that you have delayed data. Oh. Oh. I need to pick me up. Yeah, I know, but they're also, if you have delayed data, it'll be orange here. Or it'll say something when you hover over it. It'll say market is not live. Make sure you have up to date data, and you have to do that on TradingView's website. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, an orange D. Uh-oh. Rejection from the 5. Technically, we're trading. Ooh, this looks kind of decent. So we have a bullish woman at fair value gap right here. And another inverse right here. I think this looks pretty good. And improves your risk to reward greatly. If this holds. I'm so used to we have 10 seconds left. So let's see if this candle ends up holding here. Okay, so if this woman inverses to the upside, I think this is a pretty good trade. Stop to break even here at these perfect equal highs. And then just let it run. I think this looks really good. But again, of course, if we inverse this to the downside, then the data low is most likely coming. So we're trading into a bearish 5-minute PD array. We've got a bullish 1-minute gap. It's holding down price, right? We've closed every single bullish PD array here on this whole leg of price with this red candle. So if this ends up closing below, it's very likely that this setup will work. Targeting the data lows, stop to break even at this low right here. But if this ends up closing above, then this will be a good long in my opinion. Still holding an SMT with ES. So we'll see what happens here. But to me, this looks really good. If this 1 minute closes above, we've got 35 seconds till the 1 minute closes. Also, if you see like on the 30-second chart, we have a bullish IFEG, closed above, change in the state of delivery, trading into a 30-second fair value gap. So this is probably going to be bullish if its 30-second closes above as well. So again, we'll see, but oh, big rejection there. So if you guys want to try this 1 minute short, you can. I'm not trying it, but this data low is very likely to hit, in my opinion, if this 1 minute closes below. And there's the close below. So technically this is an entry to go short. But again, I'm not taking this. But if this ends up getting swept and we get an A+ long, I will look for longs, and I'll target the equal highs today. So again, this is your entry. Stop would be a 1 minute close back above this with the body of the candle, and you can hold all the way down to the data lows. Stop to break even at this low right here, or this wick. Like right here, I would probably move my stop to break even, just in case we reverse to the upside here before going down. Okay, so there is the official stop to break even on that trade, and the data lows should come, but we'll see. Again, the data low comes from the 8:30 candle. This, yeah. What was the, it was core retail sales. Very lackluster core retail sales, but you can see that it ended up pushing up price. But yeah, if we get a really nice IFEG here, like these two right here, if this ends up closing above, and maybe this one too, first target is the equal highs, and I would hold all the way up. I'll be right back, guys. Give me 1 second. Okay. Let's delete this off the charts for now. Again, this is still working, guys. If the data low gets swept, I think I will consider a cash count trade. If we get a bullish, like this 2 minute looks really good. The 3 minute looks pretty good too. The 15 minute is about to IFEG. I don't really care about that. We're so low in discount of the whole range, and this to me looks like a change in the state of delivery. This looks like, to me, the start of a buy program. So this does not concern me, personally. Are we holding the SMT? Yeah, we are. Still making a higher low. Do, 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 do. Okay, so if you're still in this, guys, I would definitely, again, have your stop to break even. This was the entry right here on this candle. I would have taken a partial at this low for sure, and then held the rest of the data lows. Oh. But I am telling you guys, the level of difficulty over the last, I would even say month, The markets have been on hard mode. Oh, okay. Very bullish reactions before the data lows. I think this looks really good. What kind of an RR is this? 7.5 to 1 RR. That's wild. So we don't need the data low to sweep, but it would be preferable. The reason we don't need a data low to sweep is because we have an SMT right now. So if the 2 and the 3 inverse, I think this is really good. There is a 5-minute 2. Makes it a little tougher. So let's see how we behave in this 5-minute bearish fair value gap. Ideally, we use it to go lower, sweep the data lows, and then we get the upside move. I want to see something real quick. Okay, 15-minute candle closed, and it did close below this bullish fair value gap. So in theory, we should drive to the data lows, but again, we do not have to, but I'm thinking we do. Okay. Yeah, I much prefer looking at higher time frames. So like the 4-hour did inverse, but we did trade into the secondary 4-hour and we're rejecting. So you do have to be careful here. But if an A plus long setup presents itself, I will not hesitate to execute on it. Just missed the data low here by a couple ticks. Do want to see one thing super quick. No, there's nothing. I was looking for equal highs at the high of day today, but there's nothing. Oh my goodness. Okay, so again, guys, this 2 and this 3 look really nice to me. I would prefer to wait for the 5 if we're going to get a setup. Data lows just got swept, so let's see what happens from here. Is this a new week opening gap? Oh, there's a tiny new week opening gap that formed from Sunday. That we just traded down below. Very interesting. How much is Tesla down today? I just want to see if it's time to sell some puts. 5-6% down day. That's wild. Oh, I really want to see what I can get for a Tesla put for a month out. If I sold the 180s. Oh, wow. Can get $320 per contract for selling the 180 puts. What delta is that? It's a 0.12 delta. You can get $745 for selling the 205 puts. Yeah, guys, I might sell the 180 puts today. How's the VIX doing? Okay, guys, I'm going to close out my full VIX position. I know you guys know I shorted right here on the VIX. I called that out live on stream. I'm going to close these out today at 21, just in case we get some kind of reversal. So if you guys are in those VIX puts with me, they were for a month out. So I'm going to close those out for a very nice profit. I had a limit order set on Friday. I have to check if half of it got filled, but I did attempt to sell some on Friday. What does theta mean in options? Theta is time decay. So like theta is the Greek that is responsible for time in the market. So pretty much theta is like the reason that your options lose value over time. Delta is like essentially I don't know exactly what the terminology means, but delta is the probability. So if you like sell a 0.2 delta put, in theory, at the current point in time, there's a 20% chance that your stock will be in the money. So if I sell like the 0.2 delta puts on Tesla, it means like if I sell the 180 and it's a 0.2 delta, then there's a 20% chance that right now at this point in time that the stock will hit 180 by my time frame. If that makes sense. There's so many different Greeks, but bruh, this market is being so lame. So again, guys, if you're looking for your one setup for the day, I think this 5-minute is your best bet. Very good RR. May happen during the macro time. We'll see. Equal highs above as your stop to break even. Really good potential targets for internal highs on the day. It's a 20% chance, a good chance in options, or you would try to strive for more like a 50%. No, so for selling puts, Jose, so if I sold the 180 puts on Tesla, okay, they are paying me $300 per contract to either do one of two things. One, if Tesla hits $180, I have to buy 100 shares at $180 per contract, so that's an $18,000 position. But I get to own Tesla at 180. Right now it's trading at 235. But the delta is just telling me there's a 20% chance that my stock ends up in the money. So if you're buying that put from me, you have a 20% chance of your trade being profitable at that point in time, in theory. I think there's more that goes into it. It's not exactly 20 for the put buyer. But for the put seller, there's about a 20% odd that you end up having to buy Tesla at $180 a share, which is a win-win. That's why option selling is so much better than option buying. The difference is you need capital, right? So for me, I want Tesla at $180 a share, and they'll pay me $300 to make that promise that I would buy 100 shares at 180 if it hits. Does that make sense? And no, if you're a put buyer, 20% is terrible odds. Right? If you're buying a put on Tesla, meaning you're betting it's going to go down and your odds of success are 20%, I would never take that bet. Never. Super dumb. Unless like your risk to reward, unless you're like making 100x your money, which you would never, it's not worth it. Okay. So there is a small chance, guys, we get what I like to call the soaring eagle setup. Okay, this is like something that I termed, but it's pretty much just an inverse head and shoulders. So if we end up going down and getting something like this, this is a bread and butter setup. So I will pay attention and see if we get something of this along these lines today. But we will not know for sure. So right now, guys, I mean, if you want to take this 1 minute, I think this looks pretty good. And you can move your stop to break even at this high. Oh, of course, Robert. If you have insider info, then that's a whole different thing. None of us are Nancy Pelosi here, so let's argue realism. Let's be realistic here. So I don't really. I think this 1 minute is. I'd give it a 6. But I wouldn't be surprised if that hits stop to break even. But really, guys, I'm looking for this 5 minute now. This is what I really care about. Clean stop to break even, equal high target. And by this point, if we close above here and we hit this high, this should be smooth sailing. We should not come back down. 2 minute just closed above here. 1 minute has not closed above yet. Exactly, Charlie. So if you guys want to try this 1 minute, you can stop to break even at this high. I'm not going to, but you can if you want. I have a feeling we get one more fail here and then some setup down here, but could be wrong. Whoopsies. Oh, come on, markets. Let's get something good. This 5 minute inverse is what I'm praying for. And I would like to see the 2 and the 3 close above at the same time. Wow. And then this is my trade. 7.3 something to 1 RR. If we get it. Okay, so if you're in the 1 minute, Again, stop to break even at this high. But if we come really close to the high and we reject, I would be very cautious. Maybe even cut the trade. Like this, I don't like that. But let's see how the 1 minute candle closes. We got 30 seconds left. So we are also trading into this set of down close candles and this one, which are both order blocks, right? There's like multiple sets of order blocks here, but this could be a potential good spot to add for like a longer term swing, but I don't know. Okay, so rejection right before this high, terrible. This I do not like to see at all if I'm in longs. And it tells me we're probably going to go lower here and form something down here. Yeah, this looks terrible. This tells me that the lows are coming now and that we're going to go lower. But we'll see. Not a trade, like I said before. The objective, guys, I said many times, you need to be selective with your trading. Don't just long because, or don't just short because you see a down close candle. Don't just long because you see an up close candle. Have a thesis in play and understand where liquidity is and only enter if it makes sense. Like, why would I short this when we just swept the data lows? It makes 0 sense. Okay, so this looks promising. I want to see the 5 minute close above though. Yeah, see, Robert has it down. He's been seemingly very disciplined this week. He understands the model. He uses extra confluences for himself, and I think he said he only took one trade last week or something. Or one trade this week, I'm not sure. But this is starting to look beautiful to the upside. We've got 3 minutes left, 2 minutes left of this candle close. And I want to see the 3 minute close above. I want to see the 2 minute close above. So the 2 minute just closed above. 3 minutes just closed above as well. 5 minute has not closed above yet. But when this closes above, guys, I will take this long. Target will be the equal highs, and then, yeah. 2 minutes left till this candle close, so let's see if the 5 minute closes above. And that's the last PDRA that's holding down price. And for me, guys, I would probably move my stop to break even here, not at the equal highs. And the reason being is because hold on. We did reject from this 1 minute, right? And so if we hit this high, I'm taking into account that we could have one more manipulation leg and that they sweep this and then dump us. So we'll see how the 5 minute closes, but this looks really good to me. One minute left. Let's see what they do here. Oh, this looks so good. Still an SMT with ES too, which I like to see. 35 seconds till the candle close. Let's see what happens. All right, that's an entry right there. Again, if you guys want to wait for a retracement here, you can, but I think that this high should come now. And that's when I would move my stop to break even. And then first TP would be the equal high. Second TP is this high. Third TP, this high. And then fourth TP, the equal highs. Do 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 do. So if this fails, guys, I would not take another trade for the day. I'd be done. But this should not fail. Okay, nice trade into that 5 minute. Let's see if we can at least hit this internal high here. So again, if you guys are super risk averse, put your stop to break even at this high. Again, I told you guys I'm in this from way lower, so it doesn't matter to me what happens here. But I think this is if I was not in a trade, I would take this. Every single bearish fair value gap was closed above, which tells me at minimum this high should hit, and then the equal highs, and then higher up. Do 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 do. Okay. Like to see continuation here. So we could also be trading down into the 3. It's possible. Possibly the 2. But this is an A+ setup in my view. A+. Do 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 do. The only thing I don't like about this is that it's outside of a macro time, but I still think it's good. So let's see if we can close above this 5 minute and form an OB and then go higher here. You did take this, Robert? How's the cumulative delta for you there? Are we green or red on the cumulative delta? So if this 5-minute closes below, guys, I'm not going to close out the trade just yet because we do have the 2-minute and the 3-minute below. So I'm going to allow it to trade down somewhere into here, but we'll see what we get. Technically, though, the close is a 5-minute close below would be the stop out. But because they have the 2 and the 3 below it, I'm going to allow it to wick down, maybe even get a body close below the 5, and do that thing where it goes 1 or 2 ticks below the 5 and then goes higher. So we'll see what they do here, but I'm not just going to close it out if the 5-minute closes below. Just letting you know. I'm saying if I was in this in a real trade. Again, I'm in this from lower, so what happens here doesn't matter. I'm going to be green no matter what happens today. But nonetheless, that's what I'm thinking here. So right now we're trading into the 2 and the 3, right? Bullish 2, bullish 3. There's also a bullish 1 right here. So we could trade back down into that. Maybe they try and sweep this low. I don't know. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So if this ends up hitting, guys, and I get stopped out, I'm done for the day. This to me was an A+ setup, closed above all the bearish fair value gaps. This should have worked. And it could still work, but I don't like this reaction here, obviously. It's not ideal. Robert, it was green, but I'm cutting it for a loss. I cut it before that. I'm done for the day. Okay, that's fine, bro. Again, guys, even if this 5-minute closes below, I'm not going to close this out. I'm allowing it to trade into the 2 and the 3. So hopefully we get that bullish reaction we need here. Maybe they stall it until the 1150 macro. I don't know. But to me, this is an A+ setup. I would take this 10 out of 10 times. I didn't like this wick down, but this could just be a stop out wick. We'll see. Oh boy. Oh, by the way, my mini schnauzer's back. So if you guys hear barking, you'll know why. Crazy, bro. So the 5-minute did close out, but again, I'm not going to stop this out until the 1-minute closes below. Oh, shoot, it did. All right, my stop is here on this trade. Right at this wick low. That's the final line of this hand. If that fails, then this should probably, this trade will fail. But this was A+. Again, I'm just allowing one more manipulation here to stop out below the 1-minute IFEG, sweep below this candle's low. So this should react bullishly. If it doesn't, then this trade is done. If this ends up saving us, that's going to be wild. But remember what I said. A lot of the times what they'll do is they'll do the 5-minute fail, they'll sweep it with a candle, and then they'll bring it higher. So this is what that setup I was talking about is. They fail the fair value gap, then they sweep the candle by a tick or so, and then they move it higher. So if it doesn't work, then I'd be done for the day. But in my view, again, guys, I'm not regretting taking this trade. This is an A+ setup. I love this trade. I take it 10 out of 10 times. The market has been very tough recently. And yeah, the nature is you're going to lose sometimes, but this to me was too good to ignore. So again, when I look back at a trade, I ask myself, will I regret taking this trade? And I would not regret taking this trade. It's too good to ignore. We swept the data lows. All the bearish fair value gaps got closed above. We have a clear stop to break even on the 1 minute and a clear set of equal highs. Like this is an A+ setup. So we will see if we get saved or not. There's a stop out. All right, so that's it. If that was my trade for the day, I would be done. I would not take anything else today. That's it. This was an A+ setup. It should have worked. The fact that it didn't tells me one of two things. Either this is an ultra manipulated day, or the objective is much lower than I anticipate. So, would not want to be part of this anymore. If they end up doing this and sweeping this by one more tick and going up here, I'm going to go crazy. But again, you have to be able to learn when to stop, guys. So I want to see now. We can study this PA and see what happens now that that has happened. Tells me the objective is obviously much lower. We're probably going to sweep low of day, and we're probably going to go lower here. But yeah, that's it for me. It's crazy, bro. There's been so many A+ setups recently that have failed. It's wild. Did anybody else take that setup? I hope Evan's not in here, bro. Because if Evan took that, another A+ setup, and it failed, I'll feel bad. But that's the nature of the game. Evan didn't take it. Oh, that's funny. All right, at least you didn't take it, Evan. But I'm telling you guys, this is an A+ setup. The fact that this failed is wild to me. Charlie took it. Yeah, unfortunately, that's the name of the game, guys. Sometimes you lose. But, I mean, that was too good for me to ignore. Trying to connect TradingView to Tradevate, but no luck. Do you go on YouTube, Evan, and type in, like, I forgot what, did you use TopStep? What prop firm did you end up using? I forgot what you said. That's the way the mop flops. That's right. So go on YouTube and type in how to connect Apex Eval to TradingView. You have to log into Tradevate and go to the settings, and then you have to enable TradingView. It's like a weird thing, but go on YouTube. There's tutorials on how to do it. $10.99. Oh, the add-on. You should not have to pay for an add-on. The add-on should be free if you have a prop firm account. I don't think you have to pay for anything. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's free. From when I had evals on Apex, I believe it was free. It was through Tradeovate. Go on YouTube and type in how to connect Apex eval to TradingView. I'm telling you, it's pretty easy and it's free. You shouldn't have to pay for any add-ons. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe they'll call you. Or call their customer support. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So, one lesson you guys can learn here, if you really want, again, I didn't take this. It was a 1-minute IFEG. This one would have been a free trade. You could have moved your stop to break even here, and then if you got stopped out, so be it, instead of waiting for the 5. But, like, I'm telling you guys, if this setup fails, I mean, it's either, again, because the market is just extremely manipulated this day, or the objective is lower. There's no other reason. This works so often. I don't know why that didn't work, but again, the nature of the game is sometimes you lose, but what separates a good trader from a bad trader is that a good trader can step away from the screen and not take another trade. Again, I told you guys, I'm in from much lower, so it doesn't really matter to me today, but if this was a day where I didn't enter during the London session, then this would have been my last trade of the day. ES still has not taken out its data lows. There is another 1-minute inverse here, guys, but unfortunately because of my loss, I cannot take this. But this also looks good. We swept liquidity. We have a nice IFEG. I would probably wait for the 2-minute and the 3-minute. Or the 2-minute and the 1-minute, I mean. But yeah, IFEG traders are in shambles today. It's one of those days where you get wrecked. Unfortunately. Do-do-do-do-do. I went from +7 to -50 to +387. Oh my goodness. Yeah, definitely possible. But this is wild. So we're trading into a bullish hourly here. So I will keep that in mind. Oops. No SMT with ES. Oh, what an annoying day. This is I'm telling you guys, I told you before, but this market is super difficult, but this is like the third 5-minute IFEG that I've taken in recent times. 3 out of like maybe 6 that I've taken that have failed, which is, I mean, the odds of that happening are very slim. It's just a tough market, like I said. But again, what I care about is how my results play out over 100 trades, not over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 trades. If you look at my PNL curves, they look like this. There's not steady ups and downs. It's like this. So even if we get losing trades over time, the winners end up outplaying the losers. But what, again, I told you guys before, what separates a good trader from a bad trader is if you take 2 losses in a day, can you step away from the screen? Can you not click the button again? Because I'm telling you, 95% of people cannot lose 2 times in a day and leave. They can't. Their monkey brains don't allow them to do it. So, yeah. Uh-oh. Dodgy just posted. One of the best IFEG traders that I know. He said, my first red day in 2 weeks. No, sorry. It just refreshed. Another loss in the Top Step account. He says, someone asked why I wouldn't take this trade on my Apex accounts. It's because once I hit 2 losses, I know A+ setup will likely fail. This is why I stop after 2 losses. He does the exact same thing. Profitable traders, guys. Here, I'll show you right now. I don't know if you guys can read this. Another loss on the Top Step account. I know if I take 2 losses that the A+ setup is likely to fail. This is why I stop at 2 losses. He does the exact same thing. He took the 3-minute setup. Bruh, like I'm telling you, that was A+. So my guess, guys, is that they're going to bring the market down somewhere here and then manipulate it up. After everybody is sad and has stopped out of their wins, and then they'll do it later. That's what I think is going to happen here. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, it's hard mode. Eventually, these markets will pick up again, and that is when my model will eventually start playing out effectively. I think I've had 1 red week. So I'm still able to be profitable in this type of environment, but I will be honest, my profitability is less than normal for sure. Like a couple of the weeks I've been slightly green. One, I think I had like enough red for a full-size loss, and then the other weeks were like just like not small, but like medium-size profitability for the week. Some of these Tesla accounts are wild. This guy says, his name is Dalton Brewer, Tesla is about to surge like never before. $1,500 in 2026. Guys, like, you gotta be realistic. Stupid clickbait titles. Did you guys see Conor McGregor spoke at the White House talking about Ireland and how messed up the deportation is? Bruh, can we just get like something good? Again, I'm not taking anything else today, guys. I am done. but I would not be surprised to see some kind of a like whole mess here and then get the up move. Atish, I like the liquidity towards 19,550. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, a bullish reaction here. 1 minute close. Again, guys, I'm not taking this, but this could work. Yeah, this is a terrible day. A lot of traders took losses today. But, again, I've told you guys before, if you can't take a loss and step away from the screen, you will never be profitable. These are the types of days designed to blow people's accounts. Crazy. So, a bullish reaction from the hourly. I'm not a betting man, guys, but if I had not taken a trade today, I would be in this. Maybe. Ow, my neck. Oh, I just tweaked my neck so hard. Oh, man. Oh, shit. So if this ends up being what drives us higher, guys, it is what it is. I can't take it. Again, I'm still in this on my other accounts because I'm in from so much lower, but we'll see what happens here. If they end up doing one more fail here and sweep this low, that's going to be wild. But yeah, guys, if I take 2 losses in a day, just like Dodgy, the same idea. It's either because I'm completely wrong on a bias, which is unlikely, or the market is just acting super manipulated. It's not worth it to take another trade. But there is a clean stop to break even here, which is right here. And yeah. Oh, and there's an SMT with ES. Oh, wait, is there? No, never mind. I'm sorry. There's no SMT. And also, guys, there's LRLR right here. I mean, look at this. Eventually, this is going to break to the upside. I don't know if they're going to do it here, if they're going to do another manipulation and get it down to midnight. But it is what it is. Did they just close it above the 5? Oh my god. And there's this tiny little 5-minute IFEG. If you guys can see this. Damn. Okay, so the 5-minute inversed, the 1 and the 2 inversed, and now that's the stop to break even. So if you're in this, that's a free trade. But again, I'm not in this, guys. I already took 2 losses. A rare situation, but it happens, so. We're also now in the macro time. So only, guys, if you haven't taken a trade today, you can entertain taking these 1, 2, 3, 5. But not for me. Has anybody in this stream not taken a trade today? Just out of curiosity. Anyone with 0 trades? TLT moving nice. Enphase up 6%. Whew. Guys, I'm watching this for a swing, by the way, and I'm going to alert the Discord when I take this, but this is going to be a really good swing in my opinion. Tesla, bro. Jose, I really love Enphase. I don't know. I don't know if I really love the company, but I do love the setup. What do you love about Enphase, Jose? Is it financials? Is it the product? To me, what I see here, So Enphase is a very interest rate sensitive stock. And we're getting this sell was one of the biggest sell days volume wise we've had in a very long time. Last time we had a sell like this, we had a big pump. This sell, we had a pretty big pump. This sell, we had a big pump, and now another big sell. I have a feeling that big money is accumulating this stock here. We came down on this move with very low volume. We'll see how the day closes. Yeah, but I think at minimum we're going to this. I think it will be a great stop to break even on this trade if we get an entry, and I think this will end up going much higher. I think we'll trade back into the 130s. The premiums you get paid for Enphase are insane. So I've been getting paid very nicely on Enphase when I've been selling puts on it. But I'm looking to have not even a long-term a swing trade, which will likely turn into a long-term position and target all these highs up here on the daily. So I really do like that. ASML, I know you guys that are in the Discord know that I added this at the mean threshold. I literally caught the bottom of this by just a few, like basically $1, give or take. We've just been holding this for a long-term position. Occidental Petroleum, I'm looking to add for the long term if and only if we can get to the mean threshold of this 3-month fair value gap, which comes out to $43.64. I think Buffett is going to be adding with size here too. At least Berkshire Hathaway is. He's a big holder of Oxy, if you guys didn't know, Occidental Petroleum. Another one I'm looking at is Mondelez. I called out the breakout of this trend line, but I want to get a retest of this daily fair value gap. If we can do that, I'm going to add this for a swing trade for sure. Yeah, Jose, you're right. Enphase has been dumping like crazy. Disney, I think, is also in an accumulation phase, though I don't like the fundamentals of the company. I think that this will end up pushing to 126. I really shouldn't be saying this, leaving it to the Discord, but Nvidia, how's Nvidia doing? Pump on Nvidia. Again, guys, I told you guys already, but my ads for Nvidia are going to all be between $90 and $75. Oxy's undervalued. I agree. Oil's just been getting hit, so cheaper oil typically means cheaper oil stocks. Okay, so you can see that I almost called this Nvidia. NQ traded into this bearish FEG, tapped into it, and is rejecting. We'll see what happens here, guys, but I have a feeling there is a small chance we end up going back to this 5-minute fair value gap at midnight and then getting the bounce that we're looking for. So on all my long-term, on my, not either, I guess they're kind of swing trades. From the entries I had on NQ from the London session, all of my longs from here, I do have my stop at the low of this green candle's body, because I think if this ends up closing below, we're going to end up trading further down here. So I'm looking to book my profits on this, and then I will re-enter on my fundeds and my cash accounts if we end up getting an A+ setup down here. So this is like the final line in the sand. I really don't want to see this trade lower than this 5-minute gap. I want to see this be the lows, and then I want to see a bullish reaction. And yeah, so until I see that this is holding, I'm going to get stopped out for a profit of about almost $200 per MNQ, per micro. And then, yeah, I'll re-enter if we get a trade back down here. How many Nvidia would you recommend to have in an overall personal account? Jose, that's a very difficult question to answer. Everybody is in a different boat, right? I can't say that the amount of Nvidia that I would own would be the same as the amount of Nvidia you would own, right? Okay, so I'm about to get stopped on my MNQs for my funded and my evals for a $200 contract, $200 profit per micro contract. Like, you mean percent-wise of your portfolio? Okay, percent-wise, I mean, it really just depends on your risk tolerance and how heavy you want to be weighted in semiconductors and how bullish you are on the semiconductor industry. I think Nvidia is going to be one of the biggest players. I mean, they already are one of the biggest players, but I think they'll continue in that direction. So depends on your risk tolerance. For me, I have about 10% of my portfolio in semiconductors, and that includes ASML, Nvidia, AMD, some Facebook because they're also big into. I mean, they hold a lot of semiconductor plays. SOXL I keep in my portfolios too when we have huge down days. Like if you look at SOXL right now, I normally buy leaps, but we are performing so low on the year, and I think that this is anywhere in this area is good for leaps in my opinion. But it's a 3x leveraged bull ETF, so you have to be super careful with that. But yeah, I personally don't keep more than 10% in like an individual sector. Wow, I just missed. I did not get stopped out yet on my last few ticks. But I should get stopped out for $200 profit. But so far we're wicking, so let's see if it ends up holding. If this ends up holding and being the low of the day, I'm going to be so happy. But we'll see. Because this could end up turning, I told you guys, I could end up booking $1,000 profit per micro, which is unheard of. But we'll see. Do 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 do. So again, don't be fooled by a lot of sell action, or I guess selling PA, because we do have equal highs above. We have an obvious draw. We have LRLR. We have equal highs above there. We have equal highs above there. I think all the price action over these next few days, if not like here, is just to make sure that people do not get into longs. But I think that the draw is going to be much higher. I told you guys already. We had a strong change in the state of delivery right here. We traded down into it, and now we're trading into a bullish hourly fair value gap. I think the objectives are going to be higher. But unfortunately, because of my losses on the day, I know I told you it was a very tough day today. I cannot take another trade. But both of the losses, again, were not in real accounts because my entries were much lower. But like if I was trading on a real account today, I would have been in loss. But miraculously, I am green. So I told you guys already, but on the eval, my stop loss was right there. You can see we missed it by a tick. And my objective is going to be much higher here. I'll probably, if this ends up pushing here, I'll see how we perform towards the end of the day. But I'm probably going to sell at the hourly highs. There's equal highs right here. So I'll probably take my TP there. But that was a beautiful stop loss, and luckily I didn't get stopped. So hopefully this holds. But on my funded, it's the exact same thing. I don't have any cash account trades right now. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe we get it tomorrow. And you can see here, we inverse the 5, the tiny little 5-minute, and we wicked and we held it. So I'm guessing this is going to end up being the breakout. First target here would be the equal highs, then the high of day, and then the equal highs above. To leave it all behind. But I am super lucky today. I got so lucky. The fact that all these inverses failed and that I got my entry in the London session was actually insane. Yeah, this does look like a trend break. So if you're a retail trader, this is a trend break in theory. You guys could enter this if you want. It's not my model. This was my model, but I mean, I told you guys the 1 and the 2 looked great. And the fact we had a 5-minute made it even better. But yeah, I think this is going to end up being the low of day, if I had to guess. But we will see. So, like, I think all this PA was just designed to make people lose money in the morning session, and then they deliver it now. So I think these equal highs are going to hit, and then probably high of day. So I showed you guys earlier, but this was where I took my trade. After this liquidity sweep and this 5-minute inversion, I took it long right here. And I took a TP here, a TP here, a TP here, a TP at the data highs up here, and then I'm holding runners all the way up to the equal highs up here. So this is my final TP, and then if I have anything left on any fundeds, I'll hold to here. We'll see how the PA behaves here, because what I don't want to happen is, because with funded accounts, you can't hold overnight, right? So if we end up reacting bullishly here and then like a lack of displacement, I'll probably just cut the position if I have any runners and just hope for this, and then I'll be forced to close it out before market close, right? So, but we'll see. Do 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 do. Currently up $330 per micro. I would say I never thought I'd hear myself say that, but it's very rare for me to be up $330 per micro contract. That's crazy. Jose is in the 1-minute MNQ trendline break. Nice. I think these equal highs are coming, and then really, guys, if we are going to be fully bullish for the rest of the afternoon session, we really shouldn't retrace hard from these equal highs. We should break these and then use them as support to go higher. But yeah, if I was not in a trade, I told you guys earlier, but this 1 and 2-minute looked really good. This is a 2-minute. We closed above right here. You can see we traded back down into it, never closed below it. So that was a valid trade. The 1-minute closed above here as well. So But, I mean, I would have probably even stopped out for break even here, right? This was my stop to break even. So you could have partialed there if you want, but I probably would have got stopped out on this. So this is just so hard, guys, unfortunately. You took long from the London session? Yeah. Do you guys not hear me say that earlier in the stream? This was my trade right here. Because I was expecting the data highs to get hit, and they did very nicely. So, should I set my stop at the bottom of the FEG? Up to you, Jose, but yeah, I think that this, I mean, we really shouldn't close back below here now. Like, I would probably set it below this order block right here. Either at the body or the low of the candle, whichever you prefer. But this, if this is bullish, we should not come back. I mean, we could retrace to like the trend line again, which also pairs with that order block, but this would be where I would stop it. Right here, hard stop at the order blocks, low, the body, or the wick, whichever you prefer. If it was me. Da-da-do-da-do-do. But I really don't like that I'm stalling here. Not that we are stalling here. Just want to see delivery. If this ends up being the low, guys, I'm gonna be a happy camper. Oh, gonna have a really big Monday. I just really want to see really clean PA. After this shit, I want to see clean delivery today. Happy to see AMD finally having a bullish day. Delivering out of that daily fair value gap where we added more in the long-term ads section of the Discord. Too low long. If I hadn't taken my... Yes, I believe the market is probably going to go up here. If I hadn't have taken 2 losses, then I would be taking this. But again, I didn't take the losses on live accounts because I was in from lower in the London session. But if I had, in theory, taken 2 losses today, I would not be taking another trade. So for me, it's all about, like, I can't tell you to take a long, right? If you haven't taken any losses today, then I think this is a good chance to benefit from upside moves. But because of my position, I can't take it. But yes, I believe that this is probably going to go up. I think these equal highs are next, and then, yeah. But depends on where your entry was. If you held this and didn't get stopped to break even, I mean, how you wouldn't have, I don't know. But I would definitely have my stop on this trade below this 5-minute order block. Because if we truly are bullish today and that this is the lows, we should not trade back below this order block. We could come back and retest it, but we should not trade below the order block. So I hope that makes sense. Type 1 if that makes sense. Do you guys understand what an order block is and why this should not trade back below this? This is also now a breaker block. Like, I think ICT calls it a breaker because it's like breaking people's hearts, right? The people that long this leg of price get stopped out, so it's called a breaker block. So we really should not trade lower than this whole breaker, but ideally not this order block. This is like supposed to be support in the market. And if you're looking at the trend line, it's also like a retest in theory, right? This is an order block, right? When we have a down close candle and we immediately close above it, that becomes an order block. And when you have a bullish bias, you really should not see the market trade back below the order block. A breaker block is when we make a low, a high, and a lower low. It breaks the hearts of traders that entered on this leg of price. So once you form a breaker block, paired with an order block, paired with IFVGs, this should be used to go higher. So if you're in a long, really you do not want to see the market trade below this order block. If you have a hard stop at the body, I think that works, or at the wick. But we will see. Yeah, so that's the idea behind breaker blocks and order blocks. Now we're trading into a bullish fair value gap right here, so I want this to be used to go higher. Yeah, of course, of course. Oh. Do-do-do-do-do. Alex M. It seems to be a bull trap. What makes it seem to be a bull trap to you, Alex? The higher time frame is downward. What does that mean? Higher time frame is downward. The higher time frame, like the 4 hour? Could easily, yeah. I mean, on the higher time frame, yes, but we do have a change in the state of delivery here, which I like. Change in the state of delivery above this internal high. There is a lack of displacement above this high, but I don't think that that's going to end up causing the market to completely sell off here. Oh, of course we're still in a bear market, but you can't base just because we're in a bear market doesn't mean that intraday we're not going to have a bullish reaction, right? So we traded to the top of the 5-minute OB, pretty much close to it, but the wick we touched into. So I don't really want to see the market come much lower than at the minimum the mean threshold of this order block, which is right here. So if I start seeing the market displace below this, I would probably get out of the trade. $12 o'clock 5-minute FEG. Okay, so I would pay attention here. If you're in this trade and you see the market close below the mean threshold of this order block, I would be out of the trade, personally, but that's just me. They are trapping all longs. Could be. But again, this is where I'd want to see the lows. It pairs with that trend line liquidity, mean threshold of the OB. So if we start seeing a close, a body close below this 5-minute order block, I would definitely be out of this trade because I would think that we'd go back to the lows today. Let's go, Jose. I'm glad to hear that, brother. That makes me happy. But this is what I'm talking about. It's just reading price action and deciding whether or not a trade is good enough for you. This also, if this closes below, this creates a 5-minute IFEG to the downside, which is not a great sign. So I want to see this candle, ideally, the body hold this fair value gap. I don't want to see the body close below it. And that closes in 3 minutes. So we'll see how this ends up holding or not. See, that does not look good to me. But there is still a possibility that it ends up wicking. So I want to see how the body closes. Not the wicks do the damage, body tells the story. Guys, I'm about to sneeze, so I'm going to mute this quick. All right, saved you guys from blowing out your ears. I did it for you, Robert. I did it for you. Okay, so far we're wicking here. We still got another 2 minutes till the candle close. I don't really want to see the body close below this fair value gap, though. That's not ideal. But you can see we are trading down into this little tiny 5-minute IFEG. Look how the wick respects it so far. That's very interesting to me. So far a good sign, but we'll have to see if that holds or not. Again, it looks like I'm probably going to get stopped out in profit on my runners for my fundeds and my eval accounts. But we will see. My stop for this trade is right here at the body of this candle. Right here. And that'll be a $200 profit for the micros. I already booked over $1,000 on eval, $700 on funded. So everything else from here is free money for me. It's house money. But so far we are still holding that 5-minute inverse fair value gap. Let's see if this ends up being the low or not. But so far it does not look promising. And the 5-minute candle looks like it's about to close below. So we will see what happens. Still holding that 5-minute inverse. But if this ends up closing down here, guys, this is not a good sign for longs for now. And I think we'll probably end up sweeping this low. Meaning this would be a fake breakout of the trend line, but we'll see. Again, my stop is in profit right down here. So if this, as long as this doesn't hit, I will end up staying in the trade. But regardless, it's about a $200 profit per micro. Okay, so the 5-minute close below, this is an inverse now. I don't like this. The only hope that I would have here is that we have an immediate green candle that closes above these 3 sets of down close candles. Last hope here. Do you only trade micros unfunded and evals? And also, are you even allowed to trade minis if you start micros and vice versa? These prop firms have rules. I normally trade micros, especially like with Top Step, which is the evals that I'm trading with right now. I have 50K accounts, so there's no way I'm trading with a full-size MNQ on those. But like on my Apex accounts, the 300K and the 250K accounts, I do trade with NQ. But I'm not trading with those right now. So this is the final line in the sand, guys. I want to see what we get here. But I don't know. I know some of them do have rules like that, but I know it might be like for scalability. But you should be able to trade with minis and micros. I don't see how that would. As long as you're following risk management, you should, and you're trading with similar size. Like if you trade with 1 NQ, you should be trading with 10 MNQ, right? You shouldn't be trading 1 NQ and then all of a sudden be trading 20 MNQ. I don't know if certain ones have rules on that, but I've never had issues with payouts, so. We'll see what happens here. Bullish fair value gap. We wicked here, so this is a great sign. But I need to see the 5-minute behave well here, right? If it goes under the previous low, it's going to trap all shorts and it might shoot up bullish. Maybe Alex, but I mean, as long as you don't have an entry, if there's no model, then you can't take the trade anyways, so. I'm just letting you guys know it is still holding this tiny 5-minute fair value gap. So I'd love to see this hold, but I'm watching the body of the candle. So not a great sign here. This is a new week opening gap too, by the way. This tiny little orange sliver. But it looks like this is a fake breakout. So I'm going to get stopped out most likely here for, again, $200 per micro. And then if we get a really good setup from down here, I will consider a re-entry. Two minutes left till the 5-minute close. Is there an SMT with ES here? No, no SMT. Okay, I do like this wick though. We'll see if this holds. One minute left. $40 seconds. $25 seconds. Okay, so we closed below the 5-minute fair value gap. Not a good sign. So realistically, guys, I'm probably going to get stopped out on this. But again, it is what it is. Whatever happens, if it does end up closing below and we get a nice soaring eagle / inverse fair value gap set up down here at midnight opening price, I will consider re-entering if it's too good to ignore. But we are holding this new week opening gap somehow, bro. So if this ends up being a reversal, that's going to be crazy. And I'll be saved, but we'll see. I doubt it. Robert, oh, I didn't even see that. Oh, that's why you say partials? Exactly. I partial because I'm trading with micros a lot of the time. Okay, so a bullish reaction right from the new week opening gap. That is wild. You guys see that? The body held it. So let's see if this ends up being the spot where we reverse here. Crazy. No SMT though. Both are making higher lows. I mean, technically there is still a high time frame SMT, right? The 830. Hold on. Where's the data low here? So the data low did not get swept on ES, but it did get swept on NQ. So technically we do still have a higher time frame SMT here. Oh, I don't like that wick though. Not gonna lie. Yeah, this is gonna stop me out, guys. 99% sure. Ugh. Okay, let's get rid of all this so that you guys aren't too confused. So I've been streaming, oh my god, I've been streaming for 3 hours and 4 minutes. So I'm going to stream for another 25 minutes, I think. And if we get an A plus setup from here, I will take it live on the screen. If not, I will call it in the Discord, and I may go live in the Discord. We'll see, depending on how good the setup is. If you guys want to join, you're welcome to. Again, there's a free 3-day trial going on, and there is a link in the chat, and it should be in the description as well. If not, you can go on wap.com and search Checkmate Trading, and there should be my WAP should be there. WAP.com, WHOP. Sorry, I was working. So the SMT with ES means we are looking for guys. Means we looking for guys. Buys, you're saying. Not always, but most of the time. If you have an SMT, then yes, you're looking for confluence with an IFEG or another type of bullish PD ray like an order block or a bullish fair value gap, but so far nothing is being respected, so I don't like it. But yes, technically there is an SMT right here. Yeah, those pesky gloves, huh, Robert? Very interesting that this new week opening gap is holding so nicely. Wouldn't be surprised if we end up delivering higher here, but again, there's no model for me, so nothing that I'm taking. But again, I am still in longs. My stop loss is from here. Not stop loss, but my stop and profit is right here. So hopefully this holds. So if you guys want this indicator on your charts, again, it's called the new week opening gap. Type this in on TradingView. New week opening gap, new day opening gap by Kryptonite. Look how we held it perfectly. That's crazy. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I came across your YouTube because a buddy of yours described how you started out flipping AC units. He made a video about his friend. Turns out it was you. What? Who? No way, Robert. Who is that? No way. That is true, by the way. That's how I made my first money. I have no clue. Bro, Robert, you have to find out who that is. What? That's actually wild. Bro, you have to find out who that is. That is actually insane. Okay, very bullish reaction here on the 3 minute. If you guys want to try this inverse, what would I rate this? I think this is decent. Let me see if there's anything that I'm missing here. Never mind. There's a 5 minute. There's a 2 minute. I wouldn't take this trade personally. But actually, Robert, that's crazy. Because that is true. After college, so I graduated college with an accounting degree. Hated accounting. I had one job in school, and I had this Asian boss. Her name was Mia. Most passive aggressive, like non-human boss manager I think I've ever experienced in my life. She was terrible. And yeah, she hated me because I guess I think outside the box and I don't like to follow rules exactly. Like if there's something that like she would tell me do this and it'll be like whatever. Uh, Start crediting and debiting these profile books or whatever we were doing at the time. And I said, well, if I do it this way, I can save a little bit more time. And she was like, no, you can't do that. She was like very upset if somebody went outside the lines, but like in the most passive aggressive, respectable Asian mannerism way you could be. I don't know how else to explain it. I'm not trying to be a racist. But I hated that. And then like 1 year, I think it was my senior year, it was super hot and I had air conditioning units that I bought for my house because we had no AC and everyone had like their own portable ACs in their windows. And I bought all my roommates' ACs at the end of the summer when they were moving out. And I cleaned them up, put them on Facebook Marketplace, and within like a day, I'd made like $1,000 selling these things. Because I bought them for like pretty much 50% what they paid for them and then sold them for full price. So I bought like 5 and sold them all in the same day. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. So that's how I started. Then I moved into real estate when I moved back home. And okay, I don't like this reaction from this 5 minute, by the way, guys. Rejecting from this 5. If I don't get stopped out here, that's going to be wild. But yeah, so started with the real estate, did something called wholesaling, where I literally drove around Los Angeles, found a bunch of fixer-uppers. I used an app called Deal Machine, and I would like mark every address. And what it does is it pulls all the addresses for you, puts them in an Excel sheet, and then you skip trace it so you can find all the owners' addresses and information. I would cold call them, and yeah. I'm Malaysian, so no racism. Bruh. This girl was like straight up from China and like, hello. Like, I can't even, I'm not even gonna start. But she was the most passive aggressive woman I've ever come in contact with. But yeah, she ended up firing me. And yeah, and so yeah, then I did the air conditionings. Then I did real estate, and I did real estate, and yeah, after all that money that I made through real estate, which was not insane money, but it was good. I had a few really good deals flipping properties in Los Angeles, Valencia area, Simi Valley, Calabasas, and yeah, now I'm a full time investor and trader. But I still do real estate deals here and there, but not like I used to. Um, but if you guys ever want to get into that, you should definitely. I can definitely help you out. Can give you all the software you need, or like tell you it's a kind of expensive software, but not terrible. Um, but if you're in a market like, I mean, any of the Midwest or anywhere with like relatively cheap properties, and you see tons of fixer uppers all over the place, those are the markets where you will probably get a lot of good deals. Of course, it has to be a place where there's desire, like people need to be buying homes. But like whenever I enter a new city now, my brain immediately looks at properties to see what's looks like I'm about to get stopped out, by the way, guys. We'll see. My brain immediately looks at all the fixer uppers, and then what I look for is a neighborhood where there's a bunch of fixers, and then there's a few beautiful brand new builds. Because what that tells me is there's an investor that's coming into that neighborhood. He's picking up all the shitty homes and he's turning them into like a 2025 shape flip. So what you do is you find that property, you find out who bought that property. I use a bunch of different software to do that. And then you call them and you say, hey, if I bring you a fixer upper, can we work on this together? And you pay me for finding the deal, or you pay me when you flip it, give me some of the profits. Then you build a relationship with the investor, and then boom, that's how it all works. Honestly, Robert, no, I don't really want to expand my YouTube to wholesaling, but maybe if you guys want like a course on it, I could try. But it's just like kind of like out of the realm of this channel, you know. Okay, so it looks like I'm gonna get stopped out. But the main thing I would say, guys, is I've said this so many times, but a lot of stress gets off your plates if you can. No, you don't need a license, Jose. I've never had a real estate license ever. Because but what you're basically doing, so I would pose as the buyer for a property. I'd sign a contract because you don't have to. Like for example, today I could go across the street and I could sign a two-page document with any homeowner that says I am willing to purchase this house if you're willing to sell it to me for a certain price. So I pose as the buyer, and then what I do is I take that contract and I sell it to another investor. Yeah, maybe Robert, if I can hire people to help me. But like let's say you buy the house for 100 grand, you sell the contract to another investor for 120. You pocket 20 grand, they take over the contract, they flip the property, and then they walk away with all the profits. Or you can partner with the investor, sell them the contract for $0, and then have an agreement that when the flip is complete, you split the profits 50-50, 20-30, or 20-80, 30-70, whatever you want. Okay, I'm almost definitely going to get stopped out of this, guys, in profit right here. So we'll see. And then I think if this ends up closing below this body, we're going to get a big move down, sweep the low that formed here. And then I will look for a long setup in a cash account because I haven't taken any cash account trades today, nor have I taken any fundeds apart from the London session, which I'm still holding. But I'm expecting, if this ends up closing below, to get something like this. Evan. So with wholesaling, guys, I didn't make $1 with wholesaling for over a year and a half. Me and a group of friends were going to try wholesaling, but we got lazy. Yeah. It's hard, bro. At one point, I was cold calling for like 8 hours a day. I used to wake up at like 3 a.m. in Los Angeles. So on the app Deal Machine, I have driven the entire LA County, like almost fully. There's a few streets I've missed, but like it overlays all the streets you've driven so that you don't go on the same streets again. The map is completely blue. I drove almost every single street. Would drive for like 8 hours straight. I would take a break to eat, but I was on a mission, bro. And that's how I built all the capital that I use for trading and for investing. But that is true, Robert. I mean, with everything, bro, it takes luck. But the thing is, it's not really luck. It's a numbers game. Like I would add 1,000 properties a day or 800 properties a day if I did an 8-hour day. And then I would cold call these people with a speed dialer. It would call like 3 people at a time. And if nobody answers, it moves to the next one. So it's like I'm making hundreds and hundreds of calls a day. I put it in a CRM system. And then it saves all my leads and then I reach out to them. But like in LA, bro, you can do some crazy deals. I don't want to say how much I made on some of these deals. I don't want to get audited. I did pay my taxes. Okay, I did pay my taxes, but regardless, I don't want to be an idiot. But you could make a lot of money off of one deal in LA. Yes, Chulo, if you ever get those scam likely calls or the cold call texts, that was me. That was me. Yeah, don't ever quit, guys. I'm telling you. Don't ever quit. Keep going at something. If you believe in it, just keep doing it. Okay, right now, what do I have? 1,600 followers on this YouTube. By no means do I expect this to be a form of income for me in the near future. What if you get a 40K payout from Apex to a checking? Well, if you get a payout from Apex, they're supposed to give you a 1099 or whatever the document is, and then you get taxed. You have to pay the taxes. Like, yeah, no, I'm definitely growing, but you know, I don't expect to make any significant money with this channel for years to come. Right? The channel or the Discord. Right now, this is purely for education to help people out. Wow, I can't believe I'm not getting stopped out on this right now. But yeah, I appreciate it. You won't get audited, Jose. I mean, you might if you don't report the taxes. But when they pay you out, they also report that they've made a payout to you. So if the IRS wants to wreck you and you didn't report the taxes, they can, right? Okay, so there's another 5-minute here, but none of this looks good, guys, to be honest. Let's check. Yes. Any SMTs here? Nope. But yeah, what I will say, guys, is I really appreciate all of you guys who do join the streams. Oh, I just got another tweak in my back. Bro, I'm getting old. My neck just tweaked. My back's tweaking. I appreciate all you guys that are here. You make it a lot easier to stream when there's people that, you know, are like-minded and want to discuss and stuff. I really appreciate you guys. And my goal here is to help as many people as I can learn these systems. But number one, it's not even about the system. It's more about discipline. If I can teach you guys to not take trades like me, I took 2 losses. Well, in theory today I did take 2 losses, but I didn't because I entered much lower and these were just fake trades to show you guys on the screen. But on a real day, if I was to take those, that would be done, right? You guys have seen the days where I have not taken a London session trade and I take 2 trades, I'm done for the day. I found out why you had to pay $10 for the add-on. It was because it was a Tradevate demo. Oh. Oh, damn. But I thought that the trade... Oh, you're on a Tradevate demo? Well, you should... I think Tradevate is a demo if you're on eval. I don't know why you're paying 10 still, bro. Oh, because it wasn't the Apex. It was Tradevate. Oh. Yeah, you have to activate the Tradevate account. I mean, the Apex account on Tradevate. and then it will work, I think. So this 5-minute, did it close above? It did close above. So in theory, we should go to this high, but again, I'm not part of this. Don't want to be part of this PA. It's really shitty. But this could end up being the low. But again, I'm not part of this. I mean, I am on my fundeds and evals, but if I was to take a trade here, I would not be part of this. By the way, there is another stock, a little bit higher risk, but the returns on this is going to be insane if it works. I'll give you a hint, but I'm not going to say it until I'm going to give it to the Discord people only. But it starts with an H. 4-letter ticker symbol, and I think it's in a good spot for a high risk, high reward long-term ad. It's because I signed up with my email I used for TradeAvit, but they wanted my username and password. Oh, you made a separate account. Yeah, make sure it's all tied together. So the 3-minute looks like it's going to close above, but we have a 5-minute, so if this 5-minute closes above, guys, you can try this. I wouldn't say it's A+, but it's pretty darn good. If the 5-minute closes above, stop to break even at this high and then hold it higher. But who knows if this is going to close above or not. We'll see. Okay, I have 6 minutes left on the stream, guys. So if I don't see an A+ setup, I'm gonna get off. I may go live on the Discord if there is something A+. If not, I will call it in the live alert section. And I only suggest you guys take that setup if you have not taken a trade today. But again, if you want to join, there is a link in the description and in the chat, but you don't have to. But if there is a setup, I will call it or go live. We'll see. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. I'm just in shock that I haven't gotten stopped out on my runners yet. This looks pretty good, though. I'm not going to lie, guys. And there's a pretty obvious stop to break even. If the 5-minute closes above. It's a macro time, too. But this could just be coming up to try and sweep this internal high before rejecting and getting that setup I wanted earlier. So I'm still not fully past having this setup occur. But we'll see. And unfortunately, we have to wait 5 more minutes for the 5-minute inverse, so I don't know if we'll get it, but we'll see. Oh, also, guys, if you are in the Discord, I asked this yesterday, but I sent a link in the main chat for a section to leave a review. If you guys are in the WAP, in the Discord, and you enjoyed the streaming and the call outs and whatever, please leave a review on WAP. It will give a lot of credibility, and I would greatly appreciate it. If you guys haven't done so, it would be a great help. Okay, so we're still rejecting the 5. You can see there's actually 2 5-minute fair value gaps here. But there's 2, one here and one here. I've drawn them together. But if we get a close above, there's a very obvious stop to break even. And then this could be what delivers us higher today. And in fact, I actually do really like this setup. So if I had not taken trades today, I would take this. But again, it's rejecting so far, so there's no setup. This is the same setup, was the same last 3 setups ago. Damn, this same setup was the same last 3 setups ago. Yes, but I mean, bro, if this hasn't swept, so we've already swept the data lows, we have an SMT. It just looks too good not to take. We've already tested this a bunch of different times. We fully balanced the hourly fair value gap. So this should work if it ends up closing above. Again, if it was me and I had taken 2 losses, I would not take this trade. But if I hadn't taken a trade yet, I think it would be worth a shot. Yeah, guys, I just call it how it is, all right? If I see something that I like, I'll let you know. But you can see that we are rejecting, so. Ba-da-da-do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Macro time starts in 10 minutes. 13:10 macro. Also, I want you to see. Look at how this hourly is behaving right now. Okay, we've had our change in the state of delivery. We have, I don't know if this is a breaker block on a lower time frame, but it's definitely an order block. We're trading into an OB with a fair value gap. This could be the setup that drives us higher here. You're just giving us insight before the setup occurs, meaning if the candle closes with continued momentum, more than likely will happen. 100%. 100%. But this, like the confluence that I see here on the higher time frame, gives me a lot more confidence on bullishness here. I believe there's an SMT with ES on the higher time frame here. Change in the state of delivery, order block, hourly fair value gap. All of this looks like it will be a signal to go higher. So let's see how the 5-minute closes, and if we finally get, and we also have a 5-minute OB forming here. So if we can close above, this to me looks like a good setup. Yeah. God damn. Oh, this right here? The soaring eagle / inverse head and shoulders? I think that's what you're talking about. My goodness. Okay, so we're trading back into the 3-minute inverse. If we get a bullish reaction here, close above on the 5, I think this is a great setup. Yeah, right there. And whoa, I just noticed where the wings at, it almost made an equal low together. Only missed it by 0.5. Yeah, it swept this by a tick, right? So we'll see what happens. Oh my God, bro. I thought for a second that I might be able to get a clean setup from here, but we'll see. Still hope, but again, my stop loss, my stop in profit, I mean, is right here. Oh my goodness, bro. Okay, so the 3-minute still holding, wicking out of this IFEG here. Of course, Miss Rachel. Good to see you, madame. Okay, so still bullish reaction from the 3. If this 5 and it closes above, I think this is a great setup. Okay, very bullish reaction here. Right at close to the macro time, this looks really good. But we'll see if it closes above. Okay, hold on. I want to mute the mic for 1 second. If this 5-minute closes above, guys, this is a good setup.
What do you think about all the people that come forward, like especially like Trisha like that?
Sorry, one more time?
Like all the people like when they come forward, like especially like at Power Slap, how do you see like all especially like if they're armor man?
I can't hear you, sorry.
Just like pushing forward like Ajmer like at like during that Power Slap?
I can't hear you.
Like push mirror? How do you see all the people like push for like come up for like at power slap?
All the people at Power Slap?
Yeah, like Pushmere.
I don't know. I don't know all the names yet. I don't know all the names yet. Yeah, I'm just glad to be here, bro. I'm just glad to be here. It's a fantastic atmosphere. It's a great event. And Dana, anytime he gets control of something, he blows it up. Look what he did with the UFC.
Yeah.
This is going to become one of the biggest sports in the world. And like I said, the people who do it are brave. I don't know if I'd be ready to be hit in the face like that. I'm happy hitting people, but I try very hard to not get hit. So it's a completely different element, completely different world. And it's very interesting to watch.
And then we're just with you. We're just mumbling.
That's what you were doing.
Yeah.
I was saying to Tristan, I don't understand what the fuck he's saying. But
All right, guys, this looks really good to the upside. I'm not going to lie. We got 2 minutes left till the candle close, though, so let's see what happens. Bro, I just watched a hilarious video. Okay, guys, if this 5 minute doesn't inverse, I'm exiting. I'm going to leave the stream, and then I will go to the Discord, and if anything A+ happens, I'll call it there, because I cannot be. It's almost been 4 hours, guys. We got 1 minute and 13 seconds until this candle closes, so let's see what we get. Okay, we got 46 seconds left. Very bearish reaction there. Did we just create equal highs here? Nope. Five seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. No close above, guys. No close above. But I will not lie, that's a pretty bullish wick, but I can't enter this, right? Okay, guys, so that's going to be it. If the 5 minute closes above, I would say that that's a good setup. If you really want to be more risk averse, though, you can wait for this little 1 minute fair value gap to close above. And then definitely this high should hit and then the equal highs. And then hopefully that ends up being a bullish pattern that takes us much higher today. So we'll see. But that's going to be it for today, guys. Again, if you want to join the Discord, there is a link in the description in the chat. You don't have to, obviously, but I will call anything I see in there. I wish you guys the best. And next live stream on YouTube, let's check the Discord, will be tomorrow. It's a no news day. I will likely be trading paper and eval tomorrow only, but it should be a decent day regardless. If the setup is A+, I might take something on a cash or a funded. But appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks again for joining the stream, and yeah, see you tomorrow.